Okay, so the final section we're going to talk about today is young adult development. We're going to talk just about how the developmental theories apply in young adulthood. A lot of you are in this phase of your lives, and we're not talking now about anticipatory guidance for parents because you're adults, you don't need parenting. We're not talking about a lot of the physical growth is done. So mostly we're going to talk about the developmental theorist. So according to Erikson, the psychosocial theory, the conflict of young adulthood is intimacy versus isolation. So in adolescence, we figure out who we are. And then in young adulthood, we're making connections to others. A lot of people choose a life mate during this phase and maybe begin a family, but that need for connection to others can be met in other ways. So it's not necessary to get married, start a family in this phase in order for that need to be met. Some people develop a chosen family of friends, but they're making some primary connections to others. If people are not able to develop an intimate connection with others, they may feel isolated. Where's Piaget? Let's go to Piaget next. Piaget, young adults are in the formal operational stage. They're able to hypothesize and test a hypothesis. They're adept at abstract thinking, and they're beginning to be able to apply potential consequences to themselves. So remember, adolescents can think of all the bad things that can happen, but they don't apply to me. And young adulthood would begin to be able to think a little more seriously about those things. Kohlberg's moral development theory. Young adults should be entering the post-conventional morality in which they choose and define their own moral values. They may be very socially conscious. They may work to change laws or traditions that they believe to be immoral or unethical. So they now have moved past, or hopefully have moved past, that time where they're testing the morals and values they grew up with, and they figured out what it is that they believe is right and wrong and why. What have they based that on? And so they begin to live their own lives from a moral perspective. It is believed by theorists that some people never reach full moral development. A lot of people kind of stay in that law and order, follow the rules or not place. Fowler's theory, spiritual development. Young adults may be searching for their own path to spirituality. They may continue questioning their previously held beliefs, or they may answer those questions and make and kind of develop their own belief system. But they're in the process of figuring out, what do I believe, and how much of what I grew up with am I going to hold on to, and what new things am I going to add into that? Okay, so that's young adult development. I told you that one would be short.